Pax vobiscum, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be doing another episode of The Vestal Virgin Plays. I have sort of scoured, if you will, Steam in search of interesting games to play, focusing on story-rich if I could, or really just sort of clicking on anything that looked mildly interesting. I do just the slightest bit of research just to see if the game is, per se, horror or not, because I do not do very well with horror games, I'm afraid. I'm a bit of a scaredy cat, but I stumbled upon this game, and it looked interesting. It was sort of in line with the Dear Esther sort of games, so I figured I would give it a shot. Very simple screen moving forward. Very interesting though. The background seems to shift and move. The music is very calming and yet oddly melancholy. And I forgot to say, but we're playing the game The Moon Sliver. Something just moved over here. I'm very curious about this game. Initial looks made it look like it was a sort of walking simulator story-based game. I didn't see any indications that it was going to be scary, so here's hoping it stays that way. But without further ado, let's begin. Oh. And this game is powered by Unity, so that should give you some frame of reference for the graphics. Let's see. The Moon, click title to begin. Thank you, David. This is Mansky. I apologize. The Moon Sliver is intended to be completed in a single sitting, and there is no save system. It is suggested you set aside an hour to complete it. Well, this works out quite well, since these episodes tend to be about an hour. So, let's see what the Moon Sliver holds. Oh. Oh, okay. Oh, there we go. Oh. So the typical WADS for moving, we can jump. No sprinting, so I guess that that is good. We have a... Oh! Now that is an interesting way to sort of create the sense of darkness, the sort of shifting haze at the edge of vision. Left mouse button to interact or examine. And then if we want to toggle the menu, well, flashlight. Now I do want to say, a little bit of a delay there. Let's see. Again, not sharp, extreme graphics as it is Unity, but it is amazing how you don't need, and I mentioned this with Dear Esther as well, you do not need to have stellar 4K, 8K graphics in order to produce or bring your story to life, really. And it's the story itself, so the amount of work that goes into the story and the immersion of the world, really, that I mostly look at. Oh, conserve your flashlight battery, recharge it at power outlets. Explore freely, piece the story together. When night falls, enter the mountain. Interesting. So that's an interesting addition to this, is that you have to charge your flashlight. Interesting. And the question is, Ellie was a sullen and beautiful girl, the youngest of all of them, with a mind unfit for lofty thoughts. She had once come in here to see if there was any old firewood. Otherwise, she stayed in her cluttered house where it was warm and familiar. Interesting. So there's this Ellie. Oh, as you step away from the item that you have examined, it fades away. Interesting. So Ellie, sullen, beautiful girl, youngest of all of them, so there is a family there. The mind unfit for lofty thoughts. I wonder what that means. And again, still working on my sound setup. I have moved in to my new home. It was very stressful. I'm still trying to figure out my recording situation. I do not have the space that I once did, so trying to figure out a good way to record well. Let's conserve battery power. So trying to figure out a way to have a good recording setup. I'm doing some research into what I can do. I have a limited budget as well. So just all sorts of things to work with. Let's see. Let's do that. Isa was the oldest, and if not the wisest, certainly the most learned. She still remembered when Josiah still lived, and she would sit on this crate and listen to his stories. Those memories, like so many others, were bittersweet. So we seem to be seeing this stories of a family of sisters. So Isa was the oldest, if not the wisest, certainly most learned. Wisest, oh goodness. Remembered when Josiah still lived, listened to his stories. Josiah as perhaps a lover. Daniel was a quiet man who spent his life lost in the books of old, or lost in his own thoughts. He wondered where the barrels had come from and who had put them here. I'm starting to wonder... Maybe it was a group of young friends who would come to this cabin oftentimes to investigate. Let's see. Abel loved Isa, and he loved Daniel and Ellie, but when his mind wasn't turned toward their well-being, it was filled with thoughts of bleak hopelessness. Sometimes he would rifle through the barrel. The promise of undiscovered trinkets raised his spirits, if only temporarily. So far of the squad, if we can say, we've identified Abel, Isa, Daniel, and Ellie. Now, it specifies Abel loved Isa, and he loved Daniel and Ellie. There seems to also be this Josiah character that sounds like maybe Isa liked quite a bit. And the question is there a power outlet near here? I guess not. Oh. Yesterday 4 people lived on this island. Now only 1 remains. Oh my. Yesterday 4 people lived on this island. Now only 1 remains. It sounds like a and then there were none situation. Can't see ourselves. Oh, the movement is a bit strange. Sound design is interesting. Oh, we can't venture into the water. So it seems as though this island is abandoned. There are power lines, but they don't seem to be connected. Mountains in the distance. Little sort of almost look like missions. Stone huts by the sea, directly next to the sea. 4 people lived on this island. Just the volume. We can jump. It's not much, but... But again, there's an interesting mechanic of the wind blows, stops. It blows a little harder. Blowing quite viciously now, my goodness. But again, sometimes it's, like I mentioned with Dear Esther, you don't have to have the most insane graphics. Sometimes if you focus your energies onto something like sound design, it will sort of, at least for me, trick your mind into believing that you are where you are. apologize if you get a little motion sick. I'm trying to control my mouse movements as it's very sensitive. I must say with the sound design, there's this sort of, when there isn't wind, sort of strange thrum in the background that's very ominous. Oh, what do we have here? Oh, a power outlet. I don't know if that... so now we know what a power outlet looks like. I don't know if you have to click it multiple times or not. Right, we have found another home by the sea. Now this is some brutalism architecture. 4 people lived on this island. Why only 4? There seems to be more houses for more than that. Let's investigate. Oh. It's locked. Oh. Just in case, we will charge and move on. Now, if I recall, inside the cabinet said, head up to the mountain at night when it turns night. So, let's do this. They reached the ruins and strolled leisurely through them toward the shoreline. Issa could remember when the old building still stood here, filled with families. So something must have happened. Maybe not a group of children, but a group of friends. So ruins, families used to live here. Let's see what this is. We're old, Issa, said Abel, and we're getting older. We've been getting older since we were born, said Issa. She was always smiling. Abel never smiled. How sad. So, again, barren wasteland here. Something must have happened. There are ruins, locked houses, power lines that are broken and abandoned. Nothing but sand. Oh! The night was wild and cold. The monstrous tracks leading from the hatch were brand new, but the wind quickly erased them. Oh, that is... Oh, a puzzle. I was going to see if I could correctly guess. And it seems to be some sort of simple puzzle here that we must solve in order to go into the hatch. Interesting. Night was wild and cold. Now that is strange that the monstrous tracks leading from the hatch were brand new, but the wind quickly erased them. So hatches? Was this some sort of, I don't know if you've ever played the Fallout games, a nuclear apocalypse or some sort of a apocalyptic issue? Monstrous tracks from what? There were no spider webs on the skeletal remains. The last of the spiders died years ago. The last of the spiders died years ago. What happened here? Was this a... I'm starting to wonder if this was a nuclear incident. The last of the spiders died years ago. It's very strange. Let's see. Assuming this place maybe was once fertile and green, but not anymore. Come back when night falls. So when it means go into the mountain, it's literally meant go into the mountain. So we are waiting for night to fall. I don't know if that's something we must keep track of necessarily, but spider webs. Right, we shall go back over here and see if there's anything. Oh, here we go. feel like I missed life, he said. Like it whizzed right by while I wasn't looking, and I'm watching it disappear into the horizon, stuck in this prison. Oh, come on, she said. Look out at the water. Isn't it beautiful? It's lonely, he said. Lonely and infinite. Wonder if this is Abel and Issa again, but missed life like it whizzed. He speaks the truth, how quickly life passes you by. Yes, it sounds like Abel and Issa maybe were walking around here. They were talking about getting older, how they missed life and it whizzed them by. Yes. Oh, something fade. Ah, here we go. I'm sorry, he said, and he cried because he often cried during these talks. For what? She said. For a lot of things. Now, is this still Abel and Issa? Ruins. I'm sorry, he said, for a lot of things, and whoever she is, seems to be trying to stay positive, is supportive, and... Oh, wait, oh. They stared out at the water together for a time, then continued to walk along the shoreline. So it seems we're almost going in reverse here of the story. Something... Oh. Like Dear Esther, I meant to zoom in. Something up there. Sorry, he said. Oh, here we go. These conversations were not new. Long ago... Oh, it is Issa and Abel. Long ago, Issa had learned to love Abel despite, and for, his despondency. She hugged him as the wind tossed her long grey hair around. His conversation's not new. He mentioned life whizzing past them. I'm starting to wonder if maybe they were in a bunker when some sort of apocalyptic thing happened and they grew old, and then finally the environment was well enough for them to come and walk for one last time. That is what I'm starting to think happened. Down to power lines. Some sort of strange hump here. A strange acidic smell emanated from the pipe. Yuck. Perhaps this was once a power station or a water treatment station, perhaps? We can go in here. Oh, we can. Uh-oh. I'm saying that she knows more than she's telling us, said Ellie. Some tension in the friend group. Oh. Unfortunately, this mechanic is not as good. It makes it difficult to read. I'm saying she knows more than she's telling us, said Ellie. Ah, here we go. The wood was older than anyone could remember, and it had rotted and fused with the floor. So I guess all of them were actually out walking around together, visiting old haunts, and seeing what became of everything. So the wood was old. Ellie was saying that she knows more than she's letting on. I'm wondering if she is Issa. See here? She keeps the chapel locked, and she's the only one with a key, said Ellie. leaning on the barrels and folding her arms. "So you're saying she took it?" he said. This she keeps the chapel locked. Taking something. Ah, there we go. "My problem is that she's a liar," said Ellie angrily, fiddling with the knobs on the machine as she paced around, "and that I have to keep explaining this to you over and over again. You don't know her like I know her." "Exactly. You're not an impartial judge," he said. "Knows more than she's telling us." This she Ellie is referencing is that she's a liar. Fiddling with the knobs on the machine. Ah, this must have been a power station. Okay, and she's explaining to the man over and over again that this she is a liar, and that you don't know her like I know her. This is getting interesting. Power outlet? Yay! Tools. Knows more than she's telling. Books. Oh, here we go. "What is your problem with Issa?" Daniel said, putting his book down. He was annoyed at being interrupted here. So Daniel was reading, and so Ellie has some sort of issue with Issa. So Ellie has an issue with Issa, saying that she's a liar. So she locked up a chapel, she's a liar, and Ellie is saying Daniel doesn't know Issa like she knows her. Very interesting. I wonder what happened. I think we've seen everything. Oops. Oh, doorway here. So some tension in the friend group. Ellie has an issue with Issa. I think she's a liar. There's a locked chapel. Very interesting. I'm quite curious to see where this story goes. Let's try in here. Oh, there's something in here. Oh, I'm scared. Issa kept a smile on her face, although she did not feel like smiling. There was a quiet scurrying in the corner, a mouse or a rat. Another flashlight. The rusted junk cast shadows on the opposite wall. "How do you know Abel didn't take it?" he said. "Because I trust him," she said. "He's a dismal man, but he would never hurt any of us." "Do you trust Ellie?" Daniel didn't answer immediately. "I trust all of you," he said, "because that's how we have to live." Now that is interesting. So a group of friends surviving an apocalypse together, someone took something which unfortunately began turning all of the friends onto each other. Dagmere, I'm trying to record, little one. Go play. So something was taken, and now the group is starting to crumble, it seems like. So Daniel and Ellie, Issa and Abel. I think there was one more person. Daniel didn't answer immediately, so maybe he doesn't trust Ellie, especially after what she said about Issa. What are you doing? Because he would never hurt any of us, because that's how we have to live. So they must be the sole survivors of the island, somehow. And now it seems that now that they've come above ground, something has happened, someone took something, and now the group is turning on itself. "Daniel, you're the last one I gave the key to," said Issa. Daniel stared at the mysterious control panels. He didn't meet her eyes. He never met anyone's eyes. I didn't take it, he said. Why would I take it? I'm the one who told you it was missing. So Daniel was the last one that Issa gave the key to for what? Mysterious control panels? Do they not actually know how these work or what these are for? I'm assuming they're either water treatment or power conduits. Oh. Fresh air from an unseen crack in the corner cut through the room's stuffy musk. Ooh, yuck. Charge. Another flashlight. She sat down beside the flashlight. What about Ellie? Has Ellie mentioned anything to you? She said. She didn't take it either, he said. Nor did I, nor did Abel, she said. And yet, it's gone. I don't know how, my microphone almost fell over, apologies. Okay, so she sat down beside the flashlight. Ellie, and it seems like Ellie suspects Issa, and now Issa's asking too. There's only 4 people, and yet there is a missing key, or something. Something is missing. All are claiming that they did not take it, and yet the truth is that it is gone. Interesting. Okay, let's continue this way, see if there's anything else. Pardon me, I'm going to take a sip of my tea. Lemon ginger tea, quite good. Ah, this appears to be a water treatment. Oh? The mysterious liquid had drained from the tank and into the water long ago. Not water. Mysterious liquid. What sort of mysterious liquid? Maybe, perhaps there was some sort of science experiment gone awry? These skeletons were all that remained. So something that was so dreadful it actually destroyed nature as well. I might be imagining it, but I think the sky has gotten a bit darker. Not entirely sure. Light phones. We've looked over there, so now we will head over. How to test the boundaries, see how far we could go. Oh, there are more homes over here, something up there. Oh, there's actually smoke coming out of 2 of those homes. We'll definitely have to investigate that. Let's see. We looked at the hatch. This is the first home that we came out of. Alright, we will walk along the shoreline here just to see what is going on over here. Oh, here's some submerged homes. Maybe the water level rose? The water level rose for some reason, or perhaps they were... I'm going to say water level rose for whatever reason. That's strange. Maybe? Just a crackpot theory, but maybe instead of this being an island originally, with the mountains there, perhaps there was a major flood over the earth, and one of the reasons I say that is because of the power lines leading off into the water. Maybe there was a major flood that took these mountain tips and turned them into a sudden beach. Okay. Ah. Daniel sat with Ellie under the tree, his arm around her. Do you remember when we used to climb that tower over there? He said. I wonder how long before the whole island is underwater. Oh. Perhaps I was correct. Until the whole island is underwater. See, now I'm starting to wonder if there was some sort of flood event. I wonder how long it is before the whole island is underwater. So Daniel and Ellie were also out walking around. Interesting. Let's see. They used to climb towers. Remnants of more houses, it looks like, over here. Another hatch. I wonder what this is for. Ah. The door had rusted shut. It would never open. These are either hatches into an underground facility or some sort of pipe system. Right, we shall investigate these houses. I'm going to start with one of the not smoking ones yet and see what that gives us. Oh. Lit candles. Ominous. They could make more candles. They couldn't make more wood. So Abel burned candles. Yes, if the water levels were rising, that would mean no more wood available for anything. A note. There is an evil man on this island, and I know him well. We played together as youths. We've cried together. We have eaten together. We have loved the same woman, betrayed the same woman. He is my constant companion and my worst enemy. He puppets my arms, legs, and mouth to his own selfish ends, and secretly hurts everyone I love as I watch, helpless with their unshed, unfelt blood on my hands. He gifts my flesh with indescribable pleasures, and blights my soul with utterable despair. His name is Sin, and we are irrevocably bound together. Surely there exists no hell worse than this. Now this, I mean this in the best way possible, from a random game I found on Steam, what a, fire quote. I'm going to read this again. This is actually quite, wow. Right? There is an evil man on this island, and I know him well. We played together as youths. We've cried together. We have eaten together. We have loved the same woman. Betrayed the same woman. Or woman. He is my constant companion and my worst enemy. He puppets my arms, legs, and mouth to his own selfish ends, and secretly hurts everyone I love as I watch, helpless with their unshed, unfelt blood on my hands. He gifts my flesh with indescribable pleasures, and blights my soul with unutterable despair. His name is Sin, and we are irrevocably bound together. Surely there exists no hell worse than this. My, what? What a quote. Whoever wrote that and put that together, bravo. That is, I think, one of the best descriptions of sin that I've ever read, and so poetic, too. He gifts my flesh with indescribable pleasures and blights my soul with unutterable despair. Is this something that Abel wrote, perchance? If you recall the biblical story of Cain and Abel, I'm starting to wonder if this is where our character Abel is heading. Interesting. Wow, that was very well written. Abel read to escape. Daniel read to feed his lofty, strange thoughts. Isa read to pass the time. But Ellie? As far as Abel knew, she hadn't opened a book in years. What did she do all day? He didn't know. Sometimes he worried about them. He worried about all of them. Were they as melancholy as he was? So some themes with Abel are darkness, melancholy, escapism. Starting to wonder if he maybe has depression. Daniel apparently has thoughts of grandeur, and Issa seems to be all around just sort of comfortable. Ellie seems to be the sort of odd one out at this venture. I do wish that, again, interesting mechanic of things fitting in, but it is quite distracting. There's a bedroll here, nothing here. Oh. We just need some sort of key. Interesting. Another letter. With childlike emptiness I feel, to find the most peaceful solace in fantasy, to find in masquerades a truth more vivid than reality. Sort of twisted villains were the ancient writers, to taunt us with unreachable worlds more beautiful than our own. We have enough food stored to live long lives. When our wood runs out, we will be cold, but only so cold as to be uncomfortable. The water is rising, but it will be many years before it reaches our home. Technically, we survive. But to what end? This island is all the world we know, and it is nothing but the broken pieces of a fairy tale. The writing is fantastic. Again, reminiscent of maybe some older writing styles. Now let's examine this. To find most people. Now, they can relate a little bit too much to the first two sentences, or to the first few sentences here. To find in masquerades a truth more vivid than reality, and this in particular. What sort of twisted villains were the ancient writers to taunt us with unreachable worlds more beautiful than our own? I often think that. So it seems, I'm going to say this was Abel, had some thoughts he wanted to write down, but let's look at this. So I must have been correct. There's a flood, rising water levels, many years before it reaches their homes, and technically they survive, so it sounds like they will perhaps die before the water level completely engulfs them. But that right there, technically we survive, but to what end? This island is all the world we know. So were they alive before the waters started rising? Or did they grow up here watching everything slowly be eaten away? Let's see. Very interesting. Okay, but there's... Okay, so we need to find... Oh! We need to find a key. Okay, there's smoke coming out of this one. Pardon me while I take another sip. So we seem to be going through everybody's homes, and as is wont to happen, when the apocalypse hits, there are at least books to keep us company, so it seems everyone enjoyed reading. Oh. Well, this way... was not expecting something like this, but, it seems whoever she is was ready for something. She took the knife from the shelf. The blade was dull and rusty, but it was still pointed. She was not smiling. Now, we mentioned before with Issa and smiling, maybe this is... If that's Abel's house, maybe this is Issa's house. Let's see. Whoops. A book. A bedroll. A crackling fire. Oh, a key. Okay. Ah, another note. I believe the word of Hector and the religious teachings that were passed on to me. Maybe the moon is still out there, hidden behind some cloud of darkness. Maybe the ones who went before us are waiting there. There's no way to know. We have to wait for death to find out. Truth be told, I am ready. I'm ready for the beginning of a new adventure. The word of Hector and religious teachings that were passed on to me. Maybe the moon is still out there. Now, this is interesting. The word of Hector, that does not ring a bell. Perhaps this is an in-world thing. The mention of the religious teachings that were passed on to me, and mentioning about the moon hidden behind some clouds, so the moon disappeared. Maybe the ones who went before us are waiting. There's no way to know. So we get a glimpse of... They must have lived on this island, then. Religious teachings passed down, maybe perhaps the concept that the moon is heaven, or the moon took on a sort of religious stance in the society. Very, very curious. I'm very curious as to if this group of people was alive when the world was, quote, normal, or not. This chair. Issa could not talk to Abel about her feelings, because Abel was overburdened with his own. So she often sat at her desk and wrote. She did not know who would ever read her papers. There was something profound about preserving thoughts, so that they would live long after there was nobody around to read them. Again, the writing. The writing and themes in this small story. What is described right here is how I feel about writing stories and writing down and journaling and letters. She did not know who would ever read her papers, but there was something profound about preserving thoughts, so that they would live long after there was nobody around to read them. The concept of the preservation of knowledge, of thought, of creativity, is very important to me. That quote feels sort of an at me, but getting back to the story itself. So Issa seemed to love Abel, but could not talk to him about her feelings because it seems that he felt a lot himself. So she wrote. So she was the one talking about the religious papers. She had a key. Oops. But what I'm curious to is why she had a knife and why she was not smiling. So now that we have the key, let's go back over here and see what's in here. What if it's the knife? Oh. Well, I guess not. Right, let's try this one. Another flashlight. Oh, hanging, that's smart. Book here. This must be Daniel's house. Abel often visited Daniel. He loved to talk, and Daniel loved to listen. Issa and I were out for a walk, said Abel as he entered. I thought I'd stop by before you got caught up in a book. Daniel put his book down. Hello, he said. His expression confused Abel. That's interesting. What would have caused confusion? I've been thinking about life, said Abel, sitting down, and death, and uncertainty. Abel seems to be the melancholy one of the bunch, so that's foreboding. Daniel stared at the pile of wood. He hadn't burned wood for months. Let's talk about Ellie instead. Abel was silent for a moment. What about Ellie? He said. Daniel didn't need to answer. Abel swallowed. All right, let's talk about Ellie. Interesting. Did something happen to Ellie, maybe? So, Abel came in, said he was thinking about life, death, and uncertainty, and then this quote here, he hadn't burned wood for months. He wanted to talk about Ellie instead. Daniel didn't need to answer. I wonder if something happened to Ellie. Hello, he said, his expression confused Abel. I wonder if that's related to these other conversations. Oh, flashlight. Daniel took down the dead flashlight and replaced it with a fully charged one, listening to Abel talk and thinking unrelated thoughts. He preferred the sharp illumination of flashlights to the dimness of flame. Okay. Interesting look into the thought process of the two men. Right, and so this must be Ellie's house. Ellie was laying on the bed. Daniel came in. She scowled at him suspiciously and beautifully. Interesting combination. What were you and Esau doing in the old power building? What were you talking about? When Esau pulled Daniel aside and asked him about Ellie and if she may have taken something. Let's see here. Must have been a fight or something. The cabin seems to be in disarray. She glared at him. I'm going to get wood, she spat. Did you think I was too stupid to know? He said. I'm going to get wood. Going to get wood, she spat. Did you think I was too stupid to know? He said. Is that perhaps... Excuse me. Is that perhaps Daniel saying that? And Ellie is avoiding it? Candle... Some sticks. A book? What were you and Abel doing at his house yesterday while I was climbing the mountain? He answered, casually flipping through the book on her table. It was covered in dust. So Ellie doesn't read. So some tension between all of them. It seems also coming from perhaps a place of jealousy. Asking him what was he talking about with Esau, and he counters with, what were you and Abel doing at his house? Interesting. I don't see... I don't think there was anything else. Oh. I'm wearing headphones right now, so the sound is very low and thrumming and ominous and scary. Oh dear. What was once just sort of slightly ominous is now very ominous. Trying to see if I can scan. Well, I guess it is nighttime. I'm still wondering why that key didn't open. Unless I did something incorrectly, but it is nighttime. There is very scary, ominous, yet sad music playing. No stars, no moon. I'm scared. Oh, this has come back when night falls. Is this not night? Oops. I will say the mouse is very touchy. Right, now that we've seen everything, I wonder if we can go back. Oh. Oh my goodness. Well, I picked up one key and I thought that would be it. I just didn't think to go click and turn on the light. Oh dear, the key was here the whole time. Oh goodness. There we go. What's this? Uh-oh. He watched Ellie put her clothes back on, his eyes unfocused, not really seeing her. She didn't say anything. Her lips were pursed in that eternal ignorant scowl. He got up from the bed and opened his box. He used to believe that one day he could plant the last few seeds and they would be able to grow food again. But now he knew that the ground was poison. Isa had given him the seeds, had given the seeds to him for safekeeping. Isa loved him. Isa trusted him. His eyes filled with tears, but he didn't let Ellie see. I'm supposed to meet Isa for a walk, he said. She didn't answer. She just left. So the waters are rising, but the ground is poison. I wonder what happened. And for some reason, I'm assuming, from where this seems to be leading, that Ellie and Abel slept together for whatever reason. But they weren't happy about it, but they did it anyway. And Abel feels bad. What? So I wonder... Oh, I'm very curious to see where this all leads. Okay. Wonder if since we found that, there's anything else to be had here. Took the knife from the shelf. Oh. Was this here last time and I'm just blind? Because there was a key. Do they all have... Aha. Interesting. Excuse me, another sip of water. Now, I'd like to think that because we discovered something, these are just now populating, but it might be that I am just completely clueless and didn't notice any of these, but here we go. So, Isa's chest. Isa didn't know what the object was, but he remembered her father tinkering with it in his workshop when she was a girl. The workshop and the adjoining home were now far underwater. She was not a young woman, but even now seeing it brought her comfort. Abel came in. "How do I get into storage?" he asked. She shut and locked the box. "I've told you before," she said. "I forgot," he said. "I don't go there often." "Press the first 3 until they click. Leave the 4th alone," she said. Oh, okay. Now we're delving a little more into the lore. So she didn't know what the object was, but her father tinkered with it in his workshop. Far underwater. So before that hatch with the clicks. So now we know how to get in there. Interesting. First 3 until they click, leave the 4th alone. Almost had it earlier. Let's see. So some sort of strange device. I'm not even going to hazard, I guess, as to what that is. But it was something that for her was familiar. Okay, I know how to get into storage now. I'm going to check the other 2 houses just to see if there's anything else that we missed, or maybe a chest spawned into being and I didn't realize it. Oh, let's talk about Ellie. Abel was silent. What about him? Daniel didn't need to answer. Abel swallowed. All right, let's talk about Ellie. Oh, I know what this means now. Maybe. Daniel must have found out that Abel and Daniel, or Abel, oh my, that Ellie and Abel slept together, which would also explain why he said hello. His expression confused Abel. Oh, so Ellie left Abel after, or assuming, sleeping together, and then proceeded immediately over to talk to Daniel. How cold. To talk to Daniel briefly, and Daniel must have known. Goodness gracious, so Ellie slept with Abel, and then Abel immediately went to talk to Daniel and went on a walk with Issa? Goodness gracious. What were you and Abel doing at his house yesterday? Now we know what they were doing. Okay. Doesn't appear to be any chests or anything in here. Alright. We will head up the mountain here and recharge, and then head over to storage and see what's going on there. I'm a bit curious, who are we? There were 4 people alive on the island, but now there's only 1. I wonder if it's Ellie is the last one alive. It's getting darker. The monstrous tracks leading from the hatch were brand new, but the wind quickly erased them. What does that mean? Oh, there we go. I think I hear a radio? I think... I hear the sounds of people. I heard someone coughing. There were other people down here? So this is a bunker of some sort. Yes, I hear people talking. Oh dear, I'm scared. You know what, we're just gonna go back out. Oh, I'm really scared. Initially, I didn't think that this was gonna be a horror game or anything. Oh. Oh gosh, which way? Oh, I keep leaning back. Okay, I'm going to go charge one more time because I'm terrified of being left alone down there in the dark. conserve battery power. Oh, this music is not helping. There we go. Ellie was uneasy. Oh, I was right. Maybe it was Ellie. Is the last one alive. Ellie was uneasy. The darkness had never felt this menacing before. It seemed alive. Watchful. I'm a scaredy cat. Oh. So we'll go down here first. Oh. The code was long forgotten. Nobody had been below in many years. A code, interesting. Okay, so there's another hatch. So yes, this is an underground bunker of sorts. Very maze-like as well. So we've reached an hour, but as initially the game developer said that this game takes about an hour, and oh, thought I saw movement, oh goodness. Since the game developer said that this game takes about an hour, I'm just gonna go ahead and we're gonna do a full playthrough of this game instead of splitting it up. Oh goodness. Okay. Oh, this place is a maze. Seems to be something down here. Hopefully an outlet. Bunch of boxes. Some more of those strange machines. A family of rats lived amid the crates of dried food. They were perhaps the last animals left alive. Is this the last spot on the planet where there is... I don't know, life? So there was storage down here, and this is a pretty large facility, so someone must have built this in preparation for something. But for what? Oh dear, we're running out of battery life. Oh, thank goodness, Ellie felt uneasy. Right, we're gonna go recharge. Let me know if you hear it, but I'm fairly certain I just heard a cough. Sounds of people. But why? Why here? Are there people here? I don't think so. This place looks worse for wear. Alright. It wasn't easy. Oh, that's right. There was nothing that way. Okay, so we came from that direction. We'll go this... Oh. Ellie? Daniel's voice echoed around the tunnels. Silence. Oh, maybe we aren't Ellie. What is going on? She couldn't explain the feeling. It was as though something was lurking around every corner, staying out of sight, staying ahead of her. I don't know how I feel about that. Especially with the mention of large monstrous tracks leading out of the area. Oh. I apologize if I scream. I will be sure to edit it out. Daniel heard soft, scratching footsteps behind him. He turned and shined his flashlight around the tunnel. Nothing! Oh, I don't like this. At least there's an outlet here. perhaps the rats have grown too large, and now they're coming for us. Oh, I didn't think this was going to be a horror game. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. Going to recharge. Some trash. Mound of rock. Okay, we're going to recharge again. Alright. I guess we'll continue right, see what we've got going on down here. This place really is a maze, but it's a bunch of pipes. It's very extensive as well, so this was built for some purpose, and it is large enough, it seems, to have allowed for many people to live down here, so maybe this was a scientific community? She'd never felt like this before. She knew these tunnels well. She'd been down here hundreds of times. But she was lost. Lost, confused, and afraid. So Ellie, it seems, got lost in the tunnels, even though they all seem to be very familiar with said tunnels, since they are storage for them. This seems to be where they got their food and such. Interesting. We will head back and recharge and then try the other tunnel. That way. This seems to be a dead end. Alright, back we go. So again, an extensive system built for some I'm going to go with maybe some sort of scientific facility or doomsday facility that unfortunately had to get used. Okay. I think that's where we came in from, so we want to go this way. Oh. He called again. Ellie. Still no answer. But he heard footsteps again. Oh, please don't let there be a jump scare. I don't want my neighbors to accidentally call the police because I screamed bloody murder. Dear. We will continue with the going right. Slowly. A flashlight. Okay. We can conserve some battery life. Okay, there's something here. Oh, here we go. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that. He didn't even have time to cry out at the shadow silhouetted in his flashlight beam, lunging towards him. I don't like that at all. Didn't even have time to cry out at the shadow lunging towards him. Dear, so some sharp things here. Issa had a knife. What happened here? He didn't even have time to cry out as the shadow silhouetted in his flashlight beam, lunging toward him. So Daniel must have been attacked, either by Ellie or I'm going to think Issa. But again, there is this strange... there was the mention, okay, I think we came this way, Okay, I'm just gonna recharge. But large tracks, footsteps behind him. Someone or something was stalking him through these tunnels. He came down here in search of Ellie, so no power anymore. These lights would be nice, but apparently it's been a very long time. I don't like long dark hallways. But apparently it's been a long time since people have been down here. I'm going to scream. I'm just going to warn you all in advance. There's gonna be a jump scare, isn't there? Well, it seems that I was incorrect when I did my very, very, very small research into this and determined that this was not a horror game. That, growl tells me, uh-oh, she felt its breath before she felt its claws, and then she was gone. Well, so much for us, everybody. I don't think we're making it out of this. Well, there was a growl of some sort, so whatever killed Daniel and maybe Ellie. She felt its breath before she felt its claws, and then she was gone. Ellie, so far the only people mentioned being down here are Daniel and Ellie. So I'm assuming Daniel unfortunately was killed, as was Ellie. There's a horde of firewood down here. Maybe that was part of their storage. Extra charge. I don't like this at all. Please don't let there be a jump scare. Oh, I don't like this at all. Why do I'm very good at finding games that I'm like, oh, these would be very interesting. I think I'll play this, and lo and behold, they have horror elements. I just want games that have this sort of atmosphere, but also no horror. That makes sense. Okay, one more recharge. Oh goodness, I don't like this at all. Yeah, so that was either Esau or Ellie, but maybe it was Ellie, since Ellie was the one down here. But she was somehow, as the thing said, lost and confused. Even though she had been down in the tunnel before, so I wonder what happened. Okay, I think we went this, yes, we went this direction, so now we're going back this way. Called again Ellie. I thought we investigated everything on these two areas. I'm not sure. And that's just a dead end. I'll go back here very quickly if it ends. Oh, that's right, because that was a dead end. And there was just the items in here. Okay, I guess we head back out. I don't think I've missed anything. Recharge. Guess we'll head back this way then. Soft scratching footsteps behind him. Well, So something... So only one are left alive on the island. So if Daniel and Ellie were taken out, that would leave Abel and... Isa. Did we go down this way? Now I'm lost. Now I'm lost and confused in the tunnels. Ah, okay. Code long forgotten. I think we went this way before. Is this the crazy zigzag? Yes, it is. I will check just in case. Okay, yes, because there's the storage room and dead end. Okay, well, head back out. I don't think I missed anything, but this place is such a maze. I can't be sure. So those monstrous tracks were actually something. I keep hearing voices up here. I don't know why. So something is out. So there was something down there. I'm sorry. And we keep seeing mentions of mice, rats, perhaps a mutant rat with teeth and claws killed everybody, except for whoever we are. Oh, strange. Oh dear. Now it's raining. Oh, for a moment I was thinking, is that it? But I forgot that this was storage, and that is where our destination leads. But quick recap for storage. Monstrous tracks leading from the hatch were brand new, but the wind quickly erased them. The night was wild and cold. Well, it's raining, but perhaps the rain is what is causing the rising levels, but it's not doing good for the ground because the ground is apparently poisoned. But what happened? So somehow, some way, there were 4 survivors. Perhaps there were even more down in the storage area. Why was there such a large storage facility if that was not meant for anything other than just... I'm very confused as to what's going on here, but I guess we will simply proceed and see what's happening, and I'm scared. I'm back when night falls, is it not? But it is night. We are in full night now. Maybe we missed something. I think so. Well, but it is night. I'm very confused. Good when night falls, but it is night. I guess... Try again. Alright, we're back. I I got very lost as to what to do next, so I looked up a walkthrough on Steam that I really like how the person did it. It wasn't a they didn't blatantly give you the answer. They gave you a few clues first and let you figure it out from there. So we're actually going to head back up. Whoops. Oh goodness. Back up top side. Because it seems there were a couple of things we may have missed. So there was this other building here. Which they all look the same, but apparently this is... maybe it's not. One moment. No, this is. So apparently this is the chapel, or is a chapel. And now we have the key. A key that that Ellie was upset at Issa for apparently hoarding or holding on to. Which we found the key as we were investigating the houses. The music is very interesting. It's apparently an old chapel. Daniel was still thinking about his talk with Abel the day before as he absent-mindedly picked the book up. Something caught his eye, or rather the lack of something. Daniel was still thinking about his talk with Abel. Oh, where's this light coming from? Oh, there's a note. The word of Hector 3, most of the text is illegible. Hector descended, darkness, terrible whispering, infinite and deep. Did not know how long he wandered. Promises of brutal torture and mutilation waiting. Begone, teeth of the forest. Spoke the holy incantations written upon. Turn to the surface. So the word of Hector is actually the religion in this world. It seems interesting. The word of Hector 3. Hector descended, darkness, terrible whispering, infinite and deep. Promises of brutal torture and mutilation waiting. Begone, teeth of the forest. Spoke holy. Return to the surface. Maybe this is speaking of Hector descending into the water? Begone, teeth of the forest, perhaps the flooding of the earth? Interesting. What is this? So over here, Daniel said he was thinking about his talk with Abel. Something caught his eye, or rather, the lack of something. Let's go. Oh. It's gotten very, very dark. I'm going to recharge and reinvestigate the temple. It's gotten dark and very windy. Definitely an apocalyptic feel. I can't imagine trying to live here. So, the moon sliver was gone. The moon sliver? He stared at the empty dais for some time, struggling to comprehend this simple, shocking fact. Had someone moved it? Issa, perhaps. She was the only one with a key for the Chapel of Infinite Light. But Ellie or Abel could have borrowed it from her, as he had done, or taken it. Regardless, he had to tell the others. The moon sliver. What is the moon sliver? Moon sliver, obviously a place of worship where this moon sliver was worshipped. Apparently, Issa, for some reason, was the only one with a key to the Chapel of Infinite Light. Ellie or Abel could have borrowed it from her as he had done. Why would they borrow it? What is the moon sliver? It's very Interesting. Here we go. The Word of Hector, Chapter 2. The woodland teeth, the monster of the forest, was more tenacious than the other demons. It hated the people of Hector, and desired to take the island away from them, and it lurked in dark corners and unseen passageways, scheming horrific schemes. It came to pass that Ursula was taken, stalked by the woodland teeth in the dark underground, attacked and dragged down to hell. Then the moon came to Hector in a dream and said, "Hector, the time has come. Your great enemy has arrived. You would all do well to tremble, for his power is great and his depravity is unspeakable. Go, take the moon sliver from its pedestal and do battle." And so Hector went to the chapel of infinite light, retrieved the moon sliver, and went into the tunnels. Interesting. So it seems a monster of the forest, the woodland teeth, a large rat, or a werewolf even, sliver of the moon and all. A monster of the forest, more tenacious than the other demons. So were there other creatures loose upon the earth or in the water? Scheming. Ursula was taken, dragged underground, so there were more people, and apparently they worship the moon. The moon came to Hector in a dream. So take the moon sliver, chapel of infinite light. A sliver of the moon was worshipped. The moon is worshipped as a deity. Into the tunnels. Was someone replicating what this Hector had done? The Word of Hector. Again, the moon came to Hector in a dream. The woodland teeth is vanquished, it said. Your people are safe for now, but it still waits lurking in the depths. It fears the moon sliver, and it will not dare appear again while the holy document remains in your possession. But know this. Should the moon sliver ever be destroyed, even my divine light will not be able to save you from the wrath of the woodland teeth and the darkness of hell. Keep it safe, keep it ready, and may you live in prosperity on this island that I have given you. Let your prosperity be a sign that the words I speak are true. Interesting. So I was thinking the moon sliver was a piece of moon or something that glowed brightly. Teeth. But it still waits lurking in the depths. It fears the moon sliver, but then it says, it will not dare appear again while the holy document remains in your possession. Should the moon sliver be destroyed, divine light will not be able to keep you from the wrath. Very interesting. Who is Hector, and what exactly is the moon sliver? Here we go. The moon sliver was written by the pure spring rain upon pages of dried leaves and found by noble Hector. The moon spoke to Hector, saying, "Take this, the moon sliver, and make for it a place in the chapel of infinite light, for it is a holy document. Man cannot read it, but its every letter is known to the demons of the night and greatly feared. Know that it will protect you, even should my light cease to bathe the night in holy silver. Give it a place of honor, and treat it as a prized possession, for it is your weapon against evil." And so Hector took the moon sliver and placed it in the chapel of infinite light upon a silver pedestal. And the night was warm with light, and the day was bright with warmth. Interesting. So the moon sliver was written by the pure spring rain upon pages of dried leaves and found... So this man Hector was out wandering around and found this alleged holy document written by the moon that man can't read, but apparently has power. So the moon is considered a deity here, but where is this? So Chapel of Infinite Light. Indeed, infinite light, but where is this infinite light coming from? That's my question. Oh, another page. O world, O prison dingy white, O ghostly shadow grey, your whelming lies of false delight are dark and cold as moonless night, and bleak as sunless day. Interesting. Oh. So the moon sliver seemed to be a religion passed on by perhaps these people's parents, or was adopted by them. But who is this? Who is this Hector? Who is Hector? Hector descended. Oh, this must have been when Hector descended into the dark. He could have been torn apart, but he spoke the holy incantations written, but they couldn't be read by man, so what did he speak? This is very intriguing. I'm very curious to see where this one might lead. It's very dark and very so I will say for a not very deep, like super detailed game, this little added element of the flashlight is very good. Alright, so we have recharged our flashlight and are now attempting to head back towards the hatch. Looking at the hints, I wanted to make sure that I covered all of the areas that I could for this game, and it appears I may have forgotten... Whoops. There's the code. Not forgotten, but there's one section that I missed. And apparently the code for the second hatch down here, as it states, nobody knows it, but apparently if you guess many times, you will be able to figure it out. And I had tried guessing it before, but we will try guessing it again. Let's see. We tried 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2. Let's try this. Oh! Well, oh, this place is quite dingy. I wonder what happened here. Oh! They had to know the truth, and Hector would not tell it. So down here, where nobody would find him, he wrote on scraps of paper. Maybe someday someone would discover them. Oh. What? Well, I don't see scraps of paper. They had to know the truth, and Hector would not tell it. So down here, where nobody would find him, he wrote on scraps of paper. Maybe someday someone would discover them? They had to know the truth, and Hector would not tell it. So did Hector find a way of spinning a mythological aspect to what really happened? To maybe protect people above ground? I'm very confused, and I don't see any papers here. It's very strange. Well, we figured out the code after just a little bit, so very strange. Right, and I think that was the only other place to investigate, but I don't think that really illuminated any more truth for us, or any truth, any more information. Very, very confused. It seems that we have investigated everywhere and it says return to the mountain, so here we go. Isa couldn't remember the last time she had been under the mountain. There was no reason to come here. She had looked everywhere else. She clutched the old knife in her right hand. Yesterday, the moon sliver went missing. Today, Ellie, Daniel, and Abel were all nowhere to be found. She knew the word of Hector by heart. The sinister implications were not lost on her. Oh. So we must be Isa. So it is today. So today Ellie, Daniel, and Abel were all nowhere to be found. It seems Ellie and Daniel unfortunately have perished, killed by the woodland teeth demon that Hector described. Sort of miasma down here. Oh, Ellie, she called. Daniel? Abel? Abel heard her and answered, "I'm here." There was something strange about his voice, something Isa didn't like. "What are you doing here?" "I am reading of ages past," he said. "Do you know where Ellie and Daniel are?" she said. "I do not," he said. "They are missing," she said. "They are missing, and the moon sliver is missing. Do you understand me? Do you understand what this implies?" "I do," he said. "Night will fall in a few hours, and we need to stick together. We can sleep in the same house, mine or yours. We'll keep the fire burning, we'll keep the door locked, and we will pray, Abel. We will pray to the unseen moon for mercy and protection." "Are you happy here, Isa?" "We can't stay in the dark. It thrives in the dark." Oh, the flashlight went out. "Are you happy?" Oops, much for a flashlight. "Yes, I'm happy. Please, Abel." There were tears in his eyes, and he struggled to control his voice. "Isa, I know you. I know every inch of you, and I know every corner of your mind. You aren't happy. None of us are happy." Isa didn't respond. "I'm staying here." The tears were flowing freely now. I would like it if you stayed with me, Isa. Please stay with me." "It will find you, Abel." "I let it out, Isa. I destroyed the moon sliver." Oh, it was Abel. Isa was shocked and silent. "I burned it yesterday, after I talked with Daniel." Her eyes were filling with betrayed, angry tears. "What? Abel, no, why? Do you want to be dragged to hell? Do you want us to be dragged there with you?" "We're already in hell. This island, this horrible, barren, lonely island, this place of sin, this is hell. I saw the blasphemous scraps of paper Jeremiah found, those many years ago. I read them before they were destroyed. Perhaps I was the only one who did, and I did not believe them. But I have lived life since then, and I have seen the truth of their words." Already? Oh. This place of sin, this is hell. Blasphemous scrap. So another person, Jeremiah, found scraps. The tunnel we were in, did they find? Maybe that's what Hector wrote. He said he wouldn't be found waiting for things to be found. Perhaps that's what that was. I wish we had our flashlight. Isa could not respond as tears streamed down her face. She just kept walking toward the sound of his voice, the knife clutched in her hand. Oh dear, it's getting dark. You did not read the blasphemous scraps, Isa, but I did, and I remember with incredible clarity, supernatural clarity even. Fear not the dark shadows nor the scratches at night, for the woodland heath is your salvation. It is your escape. I said this and more, Isa. The woodland heath is not here to take us to hell. It is here to take us away from hell. So the word of Hector initially talked about the woodland heath as a demon, as something that killed and dragged down to hell. And from what we were looking at Daniel and Ellie's perspective, they were torn into with teeth and claws, so that would seem, at the very least, it's deadly, but by Abel's perspective, if the island is hell, maybe death is the salvation. I heard a growl. Oh dear, our flashlight isn't working. She could see him ahead. Oh, the music is crescendoing as well. I'm going to cover my eyes. She could see him ahead, her flashlight beam cutting through the sickly fog. He was sitting in a chair, a book on his lap. She approached, she could see that he was crying too. I believe the word of Hector, she said, and I will not go to hell. Please trust me. Please. I believe the word of Hector, she said again, and she put the knife to her chest, point first. No, no, Isa, please don't stay with me. Don't leave me alone. I love you, she spat tearfully. I love you so much. What? She closed her eyes and pushed. She remembered where the heart was located from one of her father's old books. Abel was too slow to catch her falling body. He knelt beside her and sobbed for some time. Oh. So she killed herself, believing in the word of Hector. It was not a strong young man anymore, but Isa's body was light. He would take her out to the water. She had always loved the water. Then what? Read? Read until it found him? No, he didn't feel like reading anymore. He was ready to be rid of this entire cursed island, books and all. He would simply wander, aimlessly and freely. Oh, so we're able to take one last look at the island and feel the wind blowing the memories away. And then, when night fell, he would return. And wait. I keep hearing voices. Right, this says, and wait. Oh, I didn't be... I was so terrified. It said, and wait, and I was trying to find a way to interact with the book, and then, out of the corner of my eye, just this black figure walking down. Oh, I was too terrified to scream. Oh, okay. Oh, I did not think I didn't think this was going to be a horror game. Maybe for some people that wasn't too scary, but hearing the growl and then that, oh, my heart beat. Okay. Well, I guess we ascended, and now we are, going towards the light, as it were. Ah. Morning dawned on the empty island, cold and bright and windy. The moon sliver. Oh. Oh, these are the credits? Oh, did I walk the wrong way? I did walk the wrong way. Oopsie. The moon sliver. I think there was supposed to be music playing during the credits, but I was too busy trying to get my heart rate back down. Ooh, goodness. Dedicated to Rachel. How nice. The end. So that was the ending. The morning dawned on the island, bright and cold, or bright, windy, and empty. Everyone was gone. Okay, we seem to be able to look around still. We keep walking, and then it's the end. Okay, truly we have reached the end of the game. Clicking doesn't really do anything. I hit escape. Oh, this whole time we could adjust mouse sensitivity. My goodness. Well, and there we have our playthrough of the Moon Sliver. I accidentally exited out of the game and then had an issue with my recording, so I'm going back and recording my reaction here. So playing the Moon Sliver was an interesting experience. It definitely showed that, again, you don't need to have mind-blowing graphics, a huge budget, or anything crazy, just a dream and enough to make that dream come to life and construct it. The sort of liminal feeling of the entire game was fascinating. This concept of you're walking through as a character, but you're also detached, reading these notes and trying to see what exactly is going on. And we came to realize that in the end, while we were initially thinking that we were one of the characters, we suddenly found ourselves being finishing off the story as Abel, but yet we're living a little bit through Daniel and Ellie's eyes as well, which was interesting. I don't know if it was intentional, but sort of, to me, it was kind of interesting when you think about the concept of Cain and Abel. And in this case, it is Abel who is the betrayer, who took the moon sliver, which was some sort of holy document. Now, whether or not that holy document, which was spring rain written on discarded leaves, so I don't know, and something that humans couldn't read, and yet it was holy enough that this man Hector was able to recite from it and defeat the woodland teeth. Now that, again, very short story, but that sort of world building to me was enough to where I could see an entire, I would love to see an entire psychological horror liminal space game based off of that sort of, the Moonsliver's world and that sort of religion itself, because it has such potential for interesting storytelling. But with that, we saw that the word of Hector, Hector himself said that he had written lies, and so he wrote on scraps of paper the truth and hid them away, hoping someone would read them. And then apparently a man, it was either Josiah or Jeremiah, I believe it was Jeremiah, a man named Jeremiah found the scraps of paper, and everyone thought they were heresy and went to burn them. But Abel was able to read them before that happened and sort of had his eyes opened in a way. But Esau, as we saw, was a firm believer in the word of Hector, and Apparently, if you allowed the woodland teeth to take you, it would drag you to hell. Versus, I guess, if she thought if she killed herself, she would still be able to achieve heaven, which I guess in this case was the moon, in that respect, and chose that avenue instead of letting the woodland teeth come and get her. Versus Abel, who saw the woodland teeth as a means of salvation. And I don't know what the woodland teeth was, but, from the name, teeth, and then seeing what happened to Daniel and Ellie as they were torn apart, attacked, some sort of creature, malformed, there were many mentions of rats and mice, so maybe some sort of transformed mouse or rat due to chemicals or radiation or whatever. But Abel decided that in the end, the real hell was just sort of waiting around on the island as the waters encroached more and more, and death was the only release, really. Sort of a sad way to look at it, but still an interesting part of the story nonetheless. And then so many unanswered questions of who was Hector? Why were Daniel, Ellie, Esau, and Abel the only ones left on the island? What is the Chapel of Infinite Light? Where is that infinite light coming from? What happened to the world as a whole to where this island, which looks like it wasn't an island at one point, maybe the top of a mountain, what happened? I don't know if the story maker, teller, designer will ever do anything more with this story, but I'm intrigued. I would be very curious to see a much larger game that delves into these sorts of concepts personally, or even of a discussion of the story. But that's sort of my follow-up, if you will, for this story. Definitely very interesting. A quick play. The author of the story said it takes about an hour. I took 2 because I'm a scaredy cat. I take a while. And with anything that's a walking simulator, as in reality, I tend to wander and ramble and talk too much. So, regardless of that, I hope you enjoyed my playthrough and enjoyed the story of the Moon Sliver. Very, very cool name as well. So with that being said, I will see you all in the next video. Our story readings, and not necessarily story, our book readings, will be continuing here soon. There is a poll out on my YouTube community page requesting that if you have any penchant towards helping me decide content for the channel, you can select which book that you would like to see read and discussed next. And you can also suggest books or suggest genres for me as well. I do read every comment. And that's about all I have to say. So I shall see you in the next video. I hope you'll have a wonderful weekend. Goodbye.